undermining me.
Ugh.
Alright,
Oh, there
everyone,
you go.
hello,
Monash.
and welcome to Southern Cross Dota Tides Rise Season 3 Grand Final. We have Hans Reborn going up against Can't Say Whips. Hans Reborn
Radiant's
currently
banned.
2-1 in the series, but Can't Say Whips came into this with a 1-game advantage for winning the upper bracket, so Hans Reborn so far taking 2 straight games. Will CSW have what it
Dire's
takes to
banned.
stop them from taking this game and the series? I am the Spectre. Joining me is Daredevil Dan, and welcome to what could be your final game.
Yeah, it definitely could be the final game, and Weaver and Storm banned out again. These guys are just
Radiant's
like,
banned.
don't want to play this. Don't want to play this.
Set it
Stat.
as default ban.
Yeah, they should just have like the macro and just click, bans, done, and then play.
Easy peasy. I'm really looking forward to Hans picking some odd
10
heroes.
seconds to 10
We haven't
seconds
seen
to
Shaitan
go.
pick up Tusker at all today. We haven't
5
seen
seconds.
Pudge. I want to see some Pudge. Maybe some Zeus. We did see
Reserve
that last time. Or maybe even just some kind of fun heroes like Undying. I love Undying. It's great seeing zombies everywhere. It's exciting.
That's true.
We haven't seen Puck. No Puck either.
Puck did get banned out once, so
Yeah.
Slicks could pick the. There are a lot of heroes that these guys play that we haven't really seen much of. I mean, Hans Reborn have this style that's just balls in, kill everyone, and Can't Say Whips. I think they do so well against every other team because most people do not play that
Dire's
style,
banned.
and when they're coming up against Hans Reborn, it just feels like they can't
Radiant's
gain the
pick.
map control. Like they just really struggle to be in charge of the map.
Yeah, I gotta say, CSW play kind of more of a standard game. And up against Hans, who not only play weirdly, but have the
Dire's
individual
pick.
skill to back it up, it's difficult to play a standard game. They'll take you out of your comfort zone and beat you in it. So, CSW either need to go completely the other way and do something crazy themselves, or they need to just try it standard again, and really hope to win the laning phase.
Your mic did weird stuff. It went like really low volume and then slowly gained
10
volume.
seconds to go.
But it
Awesome.
didn't like freak me out like there was a crazy person behind me.
5 seconds.
It wasn't just like, mono stereo.
Yeah, it was like slow.
Reserve time.
Everyone's saying we should stop talking because now they want pizza.
Never. I will always and forever talk shit because that's what I'm good at.
Always. And CSW did ban out the Prophet, so it won't be available to Endless Winter. Could still pick up the Puck. CSW will be picking up the Veno and the Earthshaker. The
Radiant's
Earthshaker
pick.
has been part of Hans's lineup the entire day so far. Veno did make 1 appearance, so they will have to change it up. They do have the Rubik, which
Radiant's
they did pick
banned.
up in Game 1 as well, so are we going to see Hans run an aggressive tri-lane again? They did do it last time they were on the Radiant with Pugna, Rubik, Earthshaker, so I'd assume we're looking for another stunner. Naga hasn't made an appearance at all today, so I think she's just a bit
Dire's
too
banned.
slow-paced for the Australian scene. The stun comes out after too long, and there aren't so many Roshan fights, so she's not that powerful, and now
Radiant's
we
banned.
see the Clockwork banned out, so they're really targeting Endless Winter here in this draft.
Yeah, they really are. He's like, what do I play now? What do I do? I mean, he does actually play a lot more heroes, but he's known for
10
his
seconds to go.
Nature's Prophet and his Clockwork.
Yeah, do we see
5
something
seconds.
like the bit of a mix-up? I mean, we already have the Pugna, so I would assume that Shaitan
Reserve
is
time.
playing on that Pugna again. As we said last time in Radiant, it was an aggressive try, so it still opens the field for Balls to play Pudge mid.
Dire's ban.
I think he should.
I think he should.
100%.
110% even.
But we still do have to get Endless's hero. They could always go for a Bounty Hunter. It is a favorite of Shaitan, but, you know, already
10
having the
seconds to
Pugna,
go.
it would more than likely go over to Endless Winter, so
5 seconds.
I'm just thinking of how they could really round out what they had. I mean, Bounty Hunter would be great. You can sneak in
Dire's
behind the
pick.
Earthshaker, basically take him out of a fight before he can blink or do anything. The same with the Venomancer. I mean, he's great when you give him some gold and some solo XP for some early aggression, but if he's being aggressed back, Venomancer is not a very strong hero, so you know, maybe they look to do some sneaky burst damage with the Bounty Hunter. And we're gonna see the Invoker
Radiant's
on
pit.
Can't Say Whips. So, we know that Kirei plays the Invoker, so we might be seeing a farming Slicks, although, even when Slicks has been farming, he's been on the Queen of Pain, so I don't know if Hans ban it. They might just not want to, because, I mean, hey, they've won the last 4 games they've been up against CSW, if you include N9 on the weekend.
10
Last
seconds
weekend,
to go.
and each time Slicks was on Queen of Pain, so I would assume they're not
5
really
seconds.
afraid of it.
Yeah, definitely not. And the Invoker pick is interesting.
Reserve
I love seeing
time.
Invoker, and I can't actually remember if I've seen them pick it before.
Yeah, Kirei played
I'm
it a
not
couple
sure if I-
times in N9.
Okay.
He was
that
a
was
bit...
just a long weekend. I don't remember shit from that day.
It was a bit mislaid with his Sunstrikes, but with a setup from Earthshaker +1, it should be pretty decent, and I assume he's been practicing it even more, so hopefully he can pull out all the stops and tie up the series at 2-2. Of course, as we were saying before, Hans only need one more game to take out the series, so it's really all down to CSW. All the pressure is on them right now, so they have to really be
pit.
careful with what they're doing.
Yeah, and I'm honestly like quite surprised that Hans isn't picking clowny heroes, because when they're ahead, they tend to clown real bad, but they still win. But Can't Say Whip's pulling out all the
Radiant's
stops now
pick.
with the Elder Titan coming in, so definitely going more back into the 6.78 days with an Elder Titan, but 6.79 with the rest of the heroes. So it's an interesting lineup from them. ET obviously hasn't really seen that much play recently, just for the fact that his Spirit does a little bit less damage. That's really the only nerf he got, was Astral Spirit does less damage.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying before in
10
the last
seconds
draft.
to
It
go.
wasn't that good. Like, it wasn't that big of a
5
nerf, and
seconds.
he just really dropped out of the meta. I think people just kind of got bored of using him, and as well,
Reserve
6.79 made a lot of aggressive heroes really powerful, and they saw a surge in popularity as well. And Dota is just so kind of trend-based, so I mean, I love to see kind of the combos with ES and Elder Titan. However, you'll get the fishes
Dyer's
straight
banned.
into spirits and stomps, so it's going to be really difficult to get out of that kind of initiation.
Yeah, you really do. And I think another reason he fell out was because he needs a lot of levels, and the sort of upsurgence
10
of dual
seconds to
lanes
go.
kind of really hurt him. Like, he can only really go mid. Dual laning
5
Elder Titan
seconds.
just feels kind of weak because he needs levels really bad. If you want to go the 0-4-4 build,
Reserve time.
you got to be level 8 really quickly.
But I mean, at the moment, Hans have extremely squishy heroes. If you take away all of their resistances, it's even worse. So I think Elder Titan is a good pickup here. They need to win their lanes, because if Hans win their lanes with the heroes
Radiant's
that they
banned.
have, they're just going to completely steamroll. But right now, I really much prefer CSW's lineup. Hans have some good early pushing power. They have a few disables with the
Dyer's
lift. They have Enchantress creeps possibly, as well as the Shackle Shot. But there's no real great stayability. I mean, Enchantress can pop out the Nature's Attendants, but that's a very slow heal. Windrunner can build up the mech if they're going off lane, but I don't know. But, you know, Hans has been doing this every game, and then they've just been steamrolling, so I don't know if I can really comment on that and say it's a bad thing. Can't say
10
whips
seconds to go.
themselves aren't particularly tanky either, so I think it's
5
definitely
seconds.
going to all come down to these early laning stages and these fights in
Oh,
CSW.
yes.
Picking up the anti-mage.
I'm excited. Looks like something we would play. But, I mean, Hans Reborn, what they're doing now is they're drafting the green team. That's all they're doing. They're going green. They're going nature friendly. They're going to have creeps on their side. Windrunner's going to be chilling. That's what they're doing. That's the draft. And they're probably just going to ruin it by picking up a non-green hero last.
10 seconds
And make
to
me
go.
feel awful about it.
It'll be like Gyrocopter. The mechanical
seconds.
guy. With a completely different color.
Yeah. They're just going to ruin it for me.
Reserve
But
time.
I mean,
Tidehunter.
Can't Say Whips do so much damage on their team. But the one thing they don't have is the setup for Invoker. They've got like Earthshaker Sun and the slow from
10
Venomancer, but
seconds to go.
you put on ET's Astral Spirit with that aura, on top
Pudge!
of everyone, and Pudge comes out, and it's all green.
Yes!
It's the green team,
Oh, I'm excited. We get to see Balls playing Pudge.
and we get to see Anti-Mage, which everybody knows I love Anti-Mage.
And
'cause
everybody
of
knows
creeps.
that I love Invoker.
Yeah, whatever. We even had that spamming in the chat when I got picked up. Invoker.
He's the best.
He is. I mean, a good Invoker player can basically change a game from a hard game to a really easy game by just killing everyone really quick. Like, Pugner, Rubik, Enchantress, and Windrunner can all be insta-get by Invoker.
Everyone can.
Like, Pudge is a little bit harder to kill when he's got a few levels.
But then
And,
even
he's got a few kills
it's not
around
like
the
an
map.
insta-give maybe, but how is a Pudge gonna get away?
10
Yeah,
seconds
well,
to go.
exactly. He just has to try and rot suicide, really. But that's if the Invoker has a good start. If he doesn't, then he's screwed. And if he doesn't go Exhort, then he's not going to do it at all. But looking at his build, picking up the Blades of
Better
Attack,
get
3
ready.
branches, and being pulled 2 tangos, he probably is going Exhort. Or his build's just a bit random and I'm confused.
I would say so. But let's introduce the teams. On the side of Hans Reborn, we have Endless Winter. On the Windrunner, we have Firestarter, aka Risk. On the Rubik, Lippy will be taking
Let's
up the
keep it clean,
Enchantress.
folks.
Black Shaitan on the Pugner for the 3rd game in a row, and Balls on the Pudge.
And over on CSW, you have Godot playing that Elder Titan, Kidde, aka X-Musica, on the Invoker, Muffin Man on the Venomancer, Slicks is playing that Anti-Mage, and Guani is on that Earthshaker.
So right now, both teams just taking up space in their own jungle. And that's all they need to do. They're trying to make sure that the camps
30
aren't
seconds
warded
to
so Lippy
showtime.
can grab creeps. And the same, they're trying to make sure that the pool doesn't get warded so Slicks can get some farms. So I think that Windrunner is going to be okay in this lane. Anti-Mage is definitely prepared for it though. Has 8 tangos and a stout shield. No stat items at all. It's all just regens. So, you know, I think Slicks is going to be fine up against Windrunner, but it also means Endless Winter is going to get some easy
And
experience
they're
here.
off.
There's not too much that a Venomancer plus an Anti-Mage can do. They can harass him, but I don't think they're ever going to be able to kill him unless Endless seriously misplays, and that's not really something that Endless does.
No, it really isn't. And we're going to see Muffin Man here with a haste, running at Firestarter. He's like, hey, look, a hero's here. I don't think he can pick him up here. He's too close to the tower, but he's definitely going to do a lot of damage to Firestarter. So he's like, I'm probably just going to go back to base and heal. Or just use 2 tangos. I mean, he's going to take ages to get anywhere now, so a nice pickup of the haste rune there, Muffin Man forcing him back. And Anti-Mage, he is going to get harassed a lot by Endless Winter, but once he has a PMS or a Ring of Health, he's going to be fine. And once Muffin Man, you know, does a couple pulls, he can go down, he can harass the Windrunner out. This is going to be a pretty farmed Anti-Mage, depending how well Endless Winter forces him out. But with Firestarter coming out here as well, he's going to struggle a little bit.
Yeah,
Did you take the overlay off quickly this time?
No, I didn't. It's still up.
Oh.
Jesus. It's down now. I keep on forgetting because it's a different overlay, but it's gone now.
Yeah,
just tell
I
the
mean,
chat, don't cry. It's okay.
Yeah, I just told them to flame you.
Okay. Damn it.
Fine.
But Balls right
And
now...
you have 2 screens for this reason. Come on.
I do, but I was just so excited by Pudge. I can't help it.
You got an E-boner.
I did. We're gonna have a pause out from Godot.
They've been struggling with a bit of lag today.
Yeah, it's
Just lagged out. Oh man.
it's a bit unfortunate. But right now, Balls is of course struggling a bit against the Invoker. I don't think anyone thinks that Pudge wins the matchup. However, he did basically get every single CS under the tower there, so he's actually ahead 7-0 at this point. One thing that people might not know about Balls
Alright,
is
carry
that
on.
he's played Pudge in Dota 2 about 700 times, and I'm not
It's
joking.
ridiculous.
If you look at his pub stats, he's played it around 700 times, and he's got like a 72% win rate of Dota.
Yeah, the dude doesn't lose on
Same.
Pudge. And look at this Invoker. He is the saddest. It's just a tornado sitting on him. And this is one of the powers of having an Enchantress on your team. You can just go,
Dire's mid
Tornado
tower
spam.
is having technical
Podge just won the lane,
difficulties.
basically. Tornado spam.
And that's the
He's
point,
now-
because Enchantress doesn't need the creeps to jungle. She just has to wait for the cooldown again, and she's all good. So it's not the Chen that definitely needs it there kind of all the time, because the cooldown on the Chen creep steal is much larger, so it's a lot worse. Oh, the courier might be in some trouble here. He's getting microed away, but Muffin Man's gonna hit him
Muffin
once,
Man.
but didn't kill him.
Where are you going?
Balls might be going down here, but Muffin Man 2-hit. The hook's gonna miss. Balls, what you doing, buddy? He's gonna
That's
get
a first
taken
blood.
down for first blood. Curie picking it up. Muffin Man dropping low,
As
but
indeed
it's not gonna be enough.
So much for
Balls
diplomacy.
falling for first blood.
Yeah, and he had a really good start on that lane, but that rotation really nicely done. I think if Muffin Man went for the 2 attacks on the courier, they wouldn't have killed Pudge there. So nicely done by him. I mean, it's better to kill the Pudge than it is to kill the courier at this point of the game. Getting first blood is
it
more
would
important.
give you more gold to the team, but it gives you experience. It gave your mid laner the first blood. It's much better in the laning kind of sense. So, yeah, definitely the right choice there.
And he already had his bottle. If he killed it before the bottle got there, then it would have been worth it to kill the courier first.
I think that's what Balls was trying to calculate. It's like, can I get this bottle and have it live? And he figured yes, and it worked out, but he died, but he got his bottle, so... Not all is lost, but Kirei definitely starting to take charge of this mid lane. Has the phase boots as well as exhort, so he's gonna definitely be happy. We're gonna see Firestarter just sitting on this low ground, gets stunned out. Slick's also blinking down, can be lifted up to the high ground here, but Firestarter not throwing him far enough. For that, you need to push him much further back, and Firestarter will go down here to the right clicks of Slicks.
Yeah, and that anti-mage just destroyed his mana. Muffin Man now in a bit of trouble. Endless Winter is going to clean him up there. Just on the end, so... I mean, a nice return kill, but you still gave an anti-mage a kill.
Yeah, an anti-mage kill is worth a lot more than your Windrunner kill.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're going to have
And
another
Endless
stun
down, a lot of
coming out.
trouble.
Endless getting hit. Not on the other side, but I think he lives anyway. Unless
he's
Slicks was
fine.
willing to dive very far in, which I didn't. Nice
And then
pick up there.
you've got the wind run, and diving a wind runner is really hard.
Meanwhile, in this off lane, Earthshaker has been, or he was doing the block stun early on. Elder Titan at level 5, Shaitan at level 5.5, and Guani also at level 3. So, you know, he did a decent job up there. Denied Shaitan a little bit of farm, a tiny bit of experience. He is now ahead. And now Godot might be in a bit of trouble. Shaitan kind of baiting him in, throwing out the Decrep and Blast, but he's running back. He should have run to his team there. Shaitan throwing out the salve might save his life there. The stun manages to hit him. The Spirit cleaning up Shaitan, but Enchantress cleaning up Godot there. Brother, yeah, so...
And the Invoker died mid. And there's a Muffin Man in a lot of trouble mid now. He does get hooked out by the tower. And Ball's getting 2 kills there. While ET died bottom and the Pugner died as well. So, a lot of kills, man. We can
Kills
see
everywhere.
that's the problem. That's the problem with Ozzoto. 2 lanes die at the same time. Can't see them
all the time. Happens constantly.
all the time. But these guys know where to pick up their advantages, you know. When the 2 supports rotated bottom, Pudge was like, well, I'll just get a kill. It's fine.
I can get this. Don't worry. I don't care. No TP's coming in. I got it.
Yep. And your mic just said the scary thing where I thought you were about to stab me in the back.
What with the switch
The
over?
mono stereo thing, yeah.
Awesome.
Freaks me out, man.
I don't get it, man. Just changing a PC shouldn't change the mic that much. And it's a USB mic. It makes less sense.
Banged up.
Yeah.
Kirei
Computers.
doing some damage to this mid tower, is at level 7, 26 and 9 right now, did get first blood as well. Did die, however, so if we look at the net worth, he
Guani.
is still top. Just.
Guani's hiding here. There's 2 heroes here, but
He's going
3,
into mid,
4
a lift up onto Invoker, into a hook, and that's going to be a dismember. Podge now on a killing spree at 6.5 minutes in.
The Satyr down bottom is just harassing Goat a little bit. They're not aware of Guani's presence here. He was hidden in the trees. Muffin Man a little bit far back. He was spotted out by this ward though, so they know he's here.
They
So
know
they're gonna
Lippy's
play a
here
little
now,
safer.
too.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's just going to be at a standstill a bit here, unless they dive the tower, which they can with Guani sitting there. But it looks like they're going to try and go for the Pudge. No. None of them are doing anything, and now they've just got vision of all three, and the Hadouken goes out on 3 of them from the Seder, so... They're almost just going to have to back, which they are going to do. A lot of waste of time from the supports there, which is unfortunate, but Anti-Mage, still farming. He's not actually farming that well, but with no one else here against Endless Winter, a Windrunner can definitely win one-on-one against an Anti-Mage.
And he is doing
no
that
doubt
right
about
now.
it.
He's got 200, 250 almost net worth on him. Look at the last hits, 35 to 29. Kind of Slick's being kept alive by having that kill, but you know, Winter also having a kill. So it's very even right now, and Windrunner just having a great early start. Do we see a rush into the mech? Or do you think she goes for a 4-star first for a bit of, you know, better shackles?
I really do like the 4-star pickup on a Windrunner, and Shaitan can always build the mech. I think definitely Pugna having mech and Windrunner having 4-star, while Pugna has Treads or a Necro one and Windrunner having a mech is going to be better. So I think the 4-star's going to be the best way, unless Shaitan stops farming, because right now he's only sitting on, what, 500 gold with boots and a Bassi, and that's it. Yeah. So if they want the mech quickly and Endless gets quite a lot of money, it's basically just save up till you got 2k, check out with each other what you've got, and then decide.
We do also have Pudge sitting at 700 gold. You think he goes earned straight into Blink, or
yeah?
What do you
knowing balls on this hero, he's going to pick up an earn because he gets so many kills, and there's just no reason not to.
Yeah, he did pick it pretty much instantly after the unpause. He bought it out, so that's his. And you can see the damage that this spirit still does. Shaitan taking, you know, a big chunk of his health just from one spirit usage, and it looks like Godot is going to buy up phase boots. So heroes, they'll either go phase on Elder Titan or they'll go mana boots. If they go phase, usually they'll go for something like a soul ring or a bottle to help them out, but it doesn't really work too well. And now we just have Risk stealing the level 1 blink. So we have Rubik with a blink right now.
Yeah, and one of the great things about stealing it is now you know it's only level 1, so he can't continuously run from you. You know, if he blinks, he's got another 12 seconds before he can do it again. He can blink, you know, you pence on the anti-mage. If he blinks backwards, you've got a hero standing there.
Yeah, exactly, and he's going to have a really hard time. I mean, he was losing out to the Windrunner, but still kind of getting some farm, but now that the Rubik's here, he's getting nothing. So we do see a rotation coming out from the Venomancer. Endless Winter checking out the little blind spots right now. He knows something's up, but just doesn't know where they are. And in fact, we're getting a surround from Earthshaker as well. They're looking to go on risk here. Guani throwing out the stun. It's going to catch Endless Winter. They only hit Firestarter with the slow. Muffin Man's going to get picked up and burst down. Shaitan comes through in time, and that Decrep blast absolutely destroying Muffin Man.
Had absolutely no chance of surviving that.
Oh, an attempted shackle on the creep, but it's not going to hit. Endless Winter dropping down big time, but Balls with the hook. Double kill for Shaitan.
Yeah, and the burst damage out of these guys is insane, and Anti-Mage now blinking away. Guani!
Oh, he got it perfectly! Predicted it, and that's Balls on a dominating streak.
And that's why you don't want to play against this guy's Pudge. It's insane.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
One of the guys in the chat as well has got this on his 5.1 surround sound, so every time your voice goes wrong, it turns up behind him.
No breaking through the Dire's structures for now.
I really hope it just... I doubt it did.
They
are going to go for tier 2 tower now. Balls fishing for kills. And this is basically the power of Pudge with someone like a Pugna. He's just basically taking them out of next to the tower, and Pugna's blasting it down. Hiro trying to take down that mid tower, but doesn't manage to do it. It's basically last game all over again. CSW are trying to take these towers, but just aren't, and Hans are just putting the pressure everywhere. Slicks changes lane, and Endless says, well, guess what? I got a TP scroll too, buddy, and just goes and follows him. So it's the same matchup, different lane.
Yeah, that's really well done by them, just following the anti-mage. And he knows he can't farm against that Windrunner anymore. He's gone the Perseverance first. I would have picked up Treads here. The Ring and the Treads would have given him a lot more damage and been able to just run in, grab a creep, run out, rather than, I mean, getting a bit of mana regen, which he doesn't really need unless you're spamming the Blink to jungle, but you don't need it yet. Like, it's not the best pickup for him.
We are going to see a lift onto Kirei. Oh, but narrowly missing the hook on balls.
Illusion.
Just threw it out a little bit too early. And maybe, you know, this is because balls usually playing Pudge. Those C games, trying to compensate for the 120 ping you usually have instead of 50.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things in this game as well is, have you seen Kiddo use a Sunstrike to get a kill yet?
Nope.
They have no real setup for it. If you pick an Invoker, you should pick up some sort of setup. Pick up a Bane, pick up a Shadow Demon. And they just don't have one. Like, they've got a stun from ES, but that's really it.
Well,
It's
I think
the
it's
only
more
setup
that
other than sleep.
if you're
Radiant's
going
mid tower's
Exhort
coming apart.
Invoker, and he's gone
But he is.
3-1-4, that's what I'm saying. He's gone 3-1-4, so they should have realized that they didn't really have the setup for it, and then just gone into it. We're going to see a Fisher out now, and the Mana Void going to kill him off there. We have Earthshaker denying the tower as well. Firestarter trying to get away, did have the blink, so managed to escape for now. Pudge trying to find something here, but unfortunately Ball's just not able to find the target.
Yeah, and he's picked up the Staff of Wizardry, so it does look like he's going to go for the Force Staff over the Blink Dagger. So I guess not a fan of the Blink Dagger change.
Sads.
Many sads. Or he'll just get it afterwards. I mean, Force Staff does give you the fact that you can use it on your team
It's all the same
and
to
help
me.
them out, rather than just going, you know, all me, don't care about you.
And it doesn't get disabled, damn it. Like, you know, Venomancer
Like the
wards.
Veno wards. Yeah.
So we might see him pick it up eventually, but I doubt it. We might see an engagement up top here. Muffin Man walking down, gonna hit just one. Shaitan managed to escape. Kirei might be in a bit of trouble. Getting a big blast. Firestarter jumping forward. Kirei needs to run, but he's gonna get killed off by the suck of Shaitan before he gets stunned out. Now the Spirit doing a lot of damage here,
needs
but
the ult.
Balls
Slicks.
coming through with the hook. Godot in a lot of trouble, and Shaitan manages to escape. Slick's coming in, big Mana Void, picks up a kill, but will he pay for it? He doesn't have the blink for another 2 seconds. Endless Winter trying to come through, but gets blocked off. Can't run
blocked.
out. What are you doing, Winter? You know it's blocked. He's just standing there, manages to shackle one, gets forced over to the side. He might tick down here, but no, gets the defensive urn charge and lives to fight another day. But a nice use of Force Staff there by Pudge. The Fisher was about to run out. Oh, sorry, it wasn't by Pudge. It was actually his Force Staff. My mistake. But he does have his Force Staff, of course. Sitting at 800 gold as well. Shaitan does have the Buckler and Headdress as well as 199 gold. So hopefully be seeing that mech coming out shortly. And Invoker DCing from the game.
Are they gonna pause? Your Invoker's gone. It's like, didn't notice.
Wow.
Wow, that inner flame.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't
Yeah,
think
like-
CSW are too happy right now. They are 10-5 right now. XP right now, Hans are 3.5k ahead, doing very well for themselves. The gold also around 4.5k ahead, and that's not what you want to see on an early game team. I mean, they're so based around this kind of early fighting, and they're getting the kills that they need. I mean, Pudge has... Well, you can't really tell how many Flesh Heap stacks he has just yet, because he hasn't skilled it, but he's been involved in 6
Dyer's
kills,
mid
so...
tower could use a little help.
You know, he's gonna have at least 3 or 4, so... He's starting to build it up. It's only 14 minutes in. He's got a haste rune now, and another pause is gonna come out here.
Yeah, he did just DC, so probably lagging a little bit now. CSW have had problems with most of their team lagging today, so really unfortunate for them, but it does happen, and there's nothing you can really do about it in the end. Other than get stand-ins, and they've had 2.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Kirei coming out there, rather disconnecting again, unfortunately. And we can take this time to thank our sponsors, TT Esports. Thank you very much for sponsoring the tournament and providing all of the prizes for this season's Tide's Wrath. And of course, thank you very much to Southern Cross Dota for hosting the event, and Tag for being a great admin, as well as Sophie and Elle and all of the SCD team, especially Vix, for helping out with this tournament.
Yeah, everyone's done a great job on that side of things. A lot of scheduling issues with teams not being able to play, and it's just been a bit of a shitstorm on that end of it, but everything's been played out in the end, and everything's gone, you know, I don't think there's been any walkovers. Everything's been rescheduled to suit all the teams, which is good to hear, you know. You don't, and big tournaments and long tournaments like these, you don't want to see things like that, which has been good. But Paul's picking up a kill on Muffin Man and the bush with that haste rune. Easy kill, and he's got the 6 stacks of flesh heap now, so
he's gonna go for another one, just missing out on Kiro there. And he is just bottling up now. The haste rune will run out shortly, but he still has time if he wants to throw one at the tower. And he has picked up his 4 stuff as well, just needs it to come out on the courier. Risk doesn't have a spell stall, and Anti-Mage hasn't been around for that blink, which I'm sure he really, really wants. Or even the Elder Titan Spirit would be decent. Throw a bit of that harass back. Of course, you don't get the added benefit of the natural order, but, you know, it is pretty great having a really fast Rubik that hits super powerful from range.
Yeah, it's pretty decent to steal. I don't think there's really anything that this Rubik can steal that would be bad, other than, I think the worst thing he could probably steal is Plague Wards, and that's not even a bad skill.
Maybe like a level 1 deafening, like the Deafening Blast, I don't know, one of Invoker's lesser spells, but they might actually be able to catch off a Courier here, as well as the Anti-Mage. Courier is flying overhead. They're going for him. No, the Anti-Mage. No, the Courier. Endless Winter goes one way. Risk goes the other. The Power Shot reveals where the Courier's gone. They're hunting it down now. Run, little G1 Octopus. Run. He gets away. Walls. Looking for a kill, but he's not going to find it. Oh, we've got a nice stomp in mid. It's caught out Chitan, but there's no follow-up.
Yeah, nothing else for them to do after the stomp, so. But unfortunate. Hunt's Firestarter is going to steal those Plague Wards, but this is a good point to steal them because they're trying to siege the tower. So, obviously not being, you know, the best skill to steal, but good for this situation.
And you can see, like, the null damage that the poison wards do to each other because it's piercing damage. It's quite pathetic seeing them slowly try and kill it.
It's just sad, isn't it? Look at them! You can't do it!
There we go. Chitan picking up a kill, and it's Endless Winter up against Slicks again in the bottom lane. Slicks does have his Battle Fury sitting on it at about 16.5 minutes, so you know, it's not too bad of a pickup time. He has managed to find some farm around the map, but at this point, you know, at the 17-minute mark, you want to be having your Yasha basically on top of Tread's Battle Fury, so you know, even like a 5-minute delay can turn into something even bigger down the track. So Anti-Mage really timing based, and you know, will it come back to haunt them, not kind of rotating more support into that lane?
Yeah, it very well could. I mean, Anti-Mage still doesn't have much. He has Boots Battle Fury at 17, which, when you think about it, isn't that bad for the matchup that he had. And he's got 3 kills, so this is the time where Hans Reborn need to go, alright, the time is ticking. At some point in this game, Slicks will be too big for them to deal with, because they have no carry. So they've got to be a little careful, and they need to get advantages while they have the game in their hands.
Oh, and Ball's getting a big hook. Kwani gets dismembered before he can even move. And that's another kill for Balls.
And he's saying there, he's like, yeah, I'll get another one. It's fine. I'll get another one.
Just keep fishing. Ooh, just misses out on Muffin Man there. The mech comes out, and they're just looking to push this tower down.
Best do something about that.
And also thanks to Naga, who you forgot, because you're a man.
I said all of the SCD staff, so I don't think I forgot anyone. Thank you very much.
That's true. So, shh, Sophie.
I knew I would forget some people, which is why I covered it at the end.
Yeah.
Anti-Mage tries to push top a little bit, but can't even get the tower to half health, so he will just return to the jungle, but that's kind of what you do. You go jungle lane, just keep on going as fast as you can. Get that farm up quickly, and Slicks, he is a good farmer. We normally see him on that kind of Queen of Pain role, but he's equally good at the anti-mage. Definitely seen him played a few times, and he's done a great job on it before, so his farm will just go out of this world. He's already got the treads plus 700 gold, so doing a really good job.
Yeah, I think the main thing for these supports is just going to be like, yeah, we'll stack and we'll be your bitch. It's fine.
Well, that's
You're
what they
the
need to do to
anti-mage.
get back in the game.
Yeah. They really do. They have to try and defend towers and stall. This game is now the stall game. Slicks is going to need Manta, Butterfly, Abyssal, and probably a BKB instead of a Heart this game, and then they can win. But they need a 6-slotted anti-mage to win this game, I think.
We're going to see Balls force up and get Kirei. What a move. The Dismember comes through, and he is going to go down 7 in a row.
Man, what they're doing is they're feeding Balls so anti-mage can kill him and get like 1,000 gold. That's what they're doing.
It's the long
strategic feed. It's the strategic feed.
If only he didn't have some kind of move stronger. Got 8 flesh heap stacks. So at level 1, he's already getting a
Radiant's top tower's taking hits.
Which, you know, you don't think, oh, that's not too much, but he does get a lot. Yeah, everything in Dota. Throwing out a hook, but not going to hit anyone. But, you know, that's what you do. Pop a regen, throw a hook. You're going to get the mana straight back. It's just cooldown that you're missing out on. And you're sieging a tower, that's just fine. And see kind of the power of the Venomancer here, just completely stalling with the...
Yeah, I mean, that's what they've got to do, right? They've just got to stall it out. Endless now. Slick's in this lane. I think at this point, Slicks can just hit him a few times and push him out. But the only thing is, they can't see anyone else. That's why Slicks isn't going into this lane. He's like, this could be a bait. I'm afraid.
You're going to see a 4-man smoke up in the mid lane. Might see them catch out Endless as well as Shaitan and Balls, who are coming in as support. It looks like Slicks is about to show himself to the lane. This might be trouble. He's going to get forced in, instantly get shackled. Will the line be there for the hook? It's not. But Balls walking into all of them gets blown up. Invoker gets the 900 gold for the streak. And we're going to see an instant buyback and TP to this top lane. We've got Risk trying to come forward. The 4-star fused, but they just can't re-engage. And I think the buyback from Balls there might have been a bit greedy.
Nice stun from Grinding there as well, just to keep them out. And the sleep. Sunstrike's going to fly. Going to clip Endless Winter. Not doing nearly enough damage to kill him, though. And the mech goes off. So, I mean, they got a pick off and they forced a buyback. And that was a lot of gold to Kiddo. Obviously, they would have rathered it on the anti-mage, but hey. They got a pick off.
They certainly did. I mean, they came there for what they wanted. They got 800 gold onto the Invoker for ending that streak. He's now sitting at 1.4k, so... definitely a big help for Kirei, and it's going to allow CSW a little bit of breathing room, especially with the buyback as well. That's a big gold swing, especially because Balls couldn't get anything accomplished on that.
Yeah, I mean, if he got a kill after it, sure. Anti-Mage, see, he's going for the Vlads, and because he's split pushing, I understand it. Because he's losing a lot of health tanking, creep waves and stuff. If he was just jungle farming, it would be a waste of money and time, and you're just going to get rid of it eventually. But it kind of leads you to think that they want to fight soon, but they can't. Like, I really don't think they can fight yet. If Balls gets a pickup before the fight even starts, they've already lost the fight. So they've got to be really careful about this, and their tier 2 and mid is going to fall pretty quickly. They're going to get the tier 1 bottom, so Anti-Mage obviously coming online, doing what he does, split pushing, being Rat Dota, and having all the gold in the game, but...
yeah, he just picked up that Vlad, sitting at 1.2k gold almost now, does have it now, 1.3. Farm just accelerating over and over. And do Hans really take these towers quick enough to stop an anti-mage? I mean, they still have... I guess they only have one more outer tower, but then they need to break high ground. And breaking high ground against the Venomancer, when the other team is also split pushing with an anti-mage, can be a very stressful thing to do.
Yeah, it really can be, and the fact that they have an anti-mage is keeping them in the game. Like, he's got the highest net worth now. He's come back into the game quite strong. Veno's going to pick up a gem to try and do some dewarding, but the big thing is, even if Slicks gets a BKB, they've still got the Dismember to hold him. And if they can do that without getting that Pudge stunned, they can burst him down with everything else and just right-click him to death. But maybe that's why he won't get the BKB and just go for a heart. I mean, he needs the Manta style just because the damage output on it is insane. The stats are nice, the Yasha is really good for farming, and I don't think I've really ever seen an anti-mage skip it. Like, ever.
Yeah, the damage that comes out from it from the mana break is just too much to pass up. It's great for split pushing, it's great for fighting, it's good for everything that anti-mage wants to do. So we are actually going to also see an Aghanim Scepter picked up by Enchantress, and that really makes you believe that anti-mage needs a BKB. I mean, Aghanim Scepter Impetus is coming out, can be so damaging. It's pure damage, it doesn't get reduced at all by his spell shield, which is normally 50%. He's sitting at 1k health, each of those impetuses probably do about 100, 150, and it's only level 1. So it's really dangerous. If Anti-Mage ever gets stunned up, I mean, Endless Winter almost has a Scythe, and he's not, like, if he gets BKB next item, then he might be able to live. Otherwise, he's just going to instantly get Force Shackled Scythe and will go down every single fight.
Yeah, pretty much. He's going to struggle, so... I mean, a lot of it's riding on the fact that his team needs to keep them off him. If they get grouped up, if they get stunned, if they get slept, you just find the person with low mana, void them, and it's going your way. But it's going to be a struggle. He just needs to keep farming now, split pushing as he's doing, which is keeping them a little bit of map control, which they haven't had for any of these games so far. The last 2 games, Hans Reborn have, even when they've been behind, they've had the map control. So they're doing well in this game, and it's falling into more their style of Dota. There's not all this major violence, there's not big team fights all the time. It's slowing down, which is what CSW love by the looks of them.
And it looks like Shaitan, he already has the Necro Book 1. Do they plan to try and take high ground with Mass Necros again? And it's something that Anti-Mage has to be careful of. If he doesn't have that BKB, if his Cleave kills off Necro units, that's also pure damage. Even a level 1 Necro does 400 pure damage, and that's almost half his health right now.
Yeah, it's going to destroy him, and that burn does go through BKB, I take it?
No, that's why I said he needs the BKB.
Doesn't? Okay, yeah. So yeah, he's going to have to get a BKB. Without one there, he's just going to get kited. Oh.
Apparently we still have to wait for someone, but again, thank you to our sponsors, TT Esports, also all of the lovely ladies and gents over at SCD, and basically everyone that helped make this tournament happen. This is your grand finals for Southern Cross Dota's Tides Rise Season 3, Hans Reborn vs CSW. Hans taking out the only 2 games of this series. CSW had a 1-game lead because they were the winners of the upper bracket, actually dropped Hans down to the lower bracket, so... at the moment, taking out 2 straight games and looking to close out the 3rd, but will CSW be able to hold out for long enough for this anti-mage just to go wild?
Yeah, and thanks to the other casters as well. Including, you know, Tondas, Darkville, Cold Blood, Evil Twig was casting with Tondas.
Shads.
Who else was there?
Ragnarok.
Shads was casting, Ragnarok, the Russian casters that probably have no idea what we're saying.
Vodka.
That's racist, come on.
It's not. They have the highest consumption of vodka per capita in the world. It's a fact.
That's true. Give you that.
Just
now.
like Australia has the highest per capita consumption of ice cream.
Yeah, Australians like ice cream.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
It's pretty good.
Rob went nuts over the ice cream the other day.
Yeah.
Woolworths had a great sale. Shout out to Woolworths.
But thanks to all the casters as well.
Definitely, and right now, it's looking like CSW want to pressure this
Radiant's
top
top
tower a bit.
tower's
They're giving
hurting.
space for Anti-Mage to farm. He's taken out the Ancients already, but kind of going back to top lane again. He's got something on the Courier. It is a Yasha, so
Radiant's top tower
going into that, into the Manta style next, and this is a big Radiant creep wave that he's about to take out, and I think from here, he should really go into the Ancients and then start farming up the enemy jungle as well.
Radiant's
Yeah,
top
do the
tower's
counter
been
jungle. I mean, he's just trying to keep pressure on. It will slow down his farm a little doing it like this. Like, if he didn't buy the Vlads to keep pressure up, he'd almost be at a Manta. He would actually have Manta style now, and have a little bit of gold as well, so... I mean, doing that sacrificed his farm a little, but it's kept him safer. And he's been on full health all the time when pushing.
Yeah, it has worked out well for him. He's sitting as our top leader at 12k gold, but we might see something up top. All the Radiant heroes smoked up. They need to be careful that the Spirit doesn't reveal them by going patrol. It does take out a little creep there. We've got Endless Winter, the instant Scythe on Takire, as well as the Shackle Shot. Now Balls going for the hook. Chatan grabbing the kill there, and that's going to be a 4v5 straight away. But here's Anti-Mage pushing this tower at bottom lane, and they can't just transition into a tower push. They can't leave this Anti-Mage alone. So in comes Endless Winter, and they force back the TP and stop the push. And this is something that CSW haven't been able to do in the past 2 games, and that's stop Hans pushing.
Yeah, they've really done it well this game, and Slick's sitting on 200 creeps, which is pretty good for 26 minutes on an Anti-Mage. He's got basically standard farm. You look for Battle Fury Treads Manta at 24, and he's got the Vlads on top of it, so it's pretty much standard. A little bit slowed down by his start. He could be maybe up to about 15k worth by how he's farming, but I mean, he blinks over to Ancients, and he stacks it. Like, he's not wasting time, this guy.
We have enemy heroes nearby. Balls coming in, instantly going to get the hook, but he blinks out, but he doesn't get to the high ground. Do they know? The Ancients, they're attacking him. He's caught in the bushes here, but they didn't notice.
He's like, I'm fine.
Getting away.
He's going to get hooked again. He's so manly. He didn't even back.
Still going for the farm. True Anti-Mage.
He is one with the anti-fun.
We're going to see a Fisher not quite block out Chatan. Balls going for a hook, but not going to get it. That Poison Sting is really, really annoying because it also slows by 12%. It is just... When you're trying to chase heroes down and you just get that little slow on you, that can be enough to stop.
Yeah, it really can. And look at this. It feels like Hans Reborn are like, what do we do? Like, they're not doing that well on this map. I mean, they've got the second 2 farmers on the net worth, Anti-Mage obviously being on top because he's an Anti-Mage, but Invoker and ET aren't that far behind. And they're going to take a tier 2 here unless we see a lot of rotations. Chatan is coming in, but the Illusion's just like, we'll keep mopping this tower. And you've got the Forged Spirits, which are doing a bit of damage as well. They just instantly back off, and Hans are having to react to CSW now, not the other way around.
Yeah, it's kind of a position we haven't seen them in today so far, and CSW looking really strong right now. If you look at the experience, it is still in Hans' favor, around 3.5k the difference. If you look at gold, it was almost 10k in Hans' favor, now down to 5k, but it is starting to slowly increase. In Pugna, now picking up a Necro 3, so that's 600 pure damage burn if Anti-Mage kills it, which is just under half his health.
Yeah, and it is kind of likely he will kill it because of the splash damage as well. So he's got to be very careful about that. And Hans Reborn really need to take this Roshan and take high ground. And they need to do it soon. And I don't even know if they'll win the next fight. I mean, it's all a bit dangerous. They've got the Arganims on the Enchantress, but nothing else. The Force Staff is up on the Rubik. The Force Staff and the Scythe of Ice is on the Windrunner. So they have items. They're not naked here, but they've just got to basically stand their ground. And Anti-Mage is going to basically try and take this tier 2 before they get to the high ground and then come back and fight, or push for a tier 3 depending on the stall. And with a Venomancer you can stall quite well, but it does look like they're just going to rush the high ground now with the Necro 3.
Yeah, it's doing so much damage. A Stomp is going to catch out Chatan, but it's not going to be enough. They are going to fortify as well, so we have Anti-Mage taking that tower down now, but the tier 3 is about to go down. We're going to have Pudge instantly killing off Earthshaker, so now it's 3 versus 5, and I think Slicks needs to start backing off. It's going to be the tier 3 tower, and then they can back, or they can just go for the throne. I mean, they don't have the tower down quite yet, but that blast will grab it. Ball's looking for another hook in, but he's not doing anything.
Look
That's
at this
something
tier
about
3.
Pudge. He doesn't really offer anything to a push apart from maybe getting a pick off, and you know, the Anti-Mage takes the tier 3 down to 495 health.
Yeah, that was nicely done by Anti-Mage, not freaking out.
Oh, blinking right on top of
Firestarter.
Firestarter. Slick's going for it. But now they know which one the real one is. Impetus is flying out, but Lippy needs to back up. And I think he even stole one of the illusions there. He went to, but must pop instantly, but, you know, it's, nice guy there. He actually slowed down the anti-mage. They're definitely not going for an illusion, but it just shows you the power of the anti-mage right now. Like, he has the Vlads, he definitely can fight if he needs to, but the thing is, if one of those heroes was the Windrunner, I think he would have been dead. If he gets scythed up there, and then Lippy can just let fly with the impetuses, it's so dangerous for them. The game is just on such a knife's edge. It can go either way right now, and it's kind of getting really scary. Invoker's going to pick up the BKB now. It's going to last him a bit longer in fights. Elder Titan only 5 gold away from the BKB as well, and with those pickups, CSW's team fight is just getting so much stronger.
And Slick's a bit afraid here. He doesn't really know where Hans Reborn are. The ET Spirit is going to scout them, so he's going to go for this tier 2. And he does have a TP, I take it. He should always have one. Yeah, he has one. And 3.2k gold. So he can take this and TP back and defend this Rax, because they can't let this Rax fall. It's going to be bad.
They don't have any fortification though. I don't think they can really stop it from the Necro 3 units. If they just come forward a slight bit, they should be able to grab it. But in comes Guani with a big stun. Giant meatball coming through as well. Firestarter dropping instantly. Gem on the ground. Balls is going to take out Godot, but a double kill for Slick's going to be a triple kill. Looking for an ultra kill. Balls trying to get away with it. Doesn't manage to suicide. Venomancer picking up the kill. And they don't manage to get the Rax either. It's sitting at 130 HP. And Slick's just proving too strong for the team. The BKB was popped. And they're just going to go for Roshan and try and take it out.
And that ultimate from Anti-Mage killed 2. 1400 damage from one of them. And it just cleaved off and killed 2 instantly. Fantastic fight coming out from CSW. And Slick's grabbing that BKB just before the fight broke out. He had no gold when he bought BKB, and now he's got 1800. He got a triple kill, and he's now 5,000 ahead of the Windrunner, who was the other top farmer. And this is now looking ahead for CSW. They don't have, you know, a mid tower, but with the change for the region, the melee barracks is going to region up, and they don't have an Aegis Prophet who can just TP in and try and backdoor and all that sneaky stuff. But those Necro 3s definitely showing that they are powerful.
Yeah, Enchantress going for a Mask of Madness as well, so they definitely want to take down this anti-mage whenever his BK not down, or just dish out a crap ton of damage to all of the other heroes. But right now, the only heroes without BKB are the Venomancer and the Earthshaker. And they're basically going to die trying to get off their ultimates anyway, so Mask of Madness, you know, it is a decent pickup. It definitely increases your damage output, but will it really help him this game? Endless Winter does have the Necro 1. We'll be trying to build that into a Necro 3. Nice 2-man stun. Guani comes in instantly. Slick's jumping forward, but gets hexed. Endless Winter trying to take him down. Balls coming through. Doesn't get off the Dismember as soon as he could. Slick's dropping down to half health, but an excellent sleep coming out from Elder Titan. It's going to stop all of them. The burst coming through won't drop Shaitan, but the right click sure will. It's a double kill for Slicks. He's trying to chase down Endless now, but he gets mana burnt from the Necro as well as Shackled, so he doesn't have the ability to chase.
Sunstrike.
A nice Sunstrike's going to hit through. Endless Winter with only 150 health. He's trying to run away, but he has enough for Blink and a nice Blink stun. It's going to be a team wipe for CSW, and they should easily be able to take out this T2 tower and go high ground.
Tower's getting banged.
Oh, look at this from the Necro book, pulling the creep wave off. This is a nice little trick there. Just gonna slow that tier 2 down so much. Having the backdoor region, they're really struggling to fight through that. But they can, because they have an anti-mage.
And now they have an Alacrity mage.
Tower's coming apart.
The Alacrity mage, but this is why I was hyping on an anti-mage. Because there's the comeback mechanism. They had nothing. They were so far behind, anti-mage were just like, right, screw you guys, I'm farming, I'm taking towers, I'm not helping. Almost lost the Rax, anti-mage comes in, and just 5-man wipe. 1 for 5. Easy.
And basically, because of that Necro Warrior kind of pull-off just there, they saved any damage being done to their T3 tower, because it took them so long to get through the backdoor regen, and
yeah.
You know, even as far ahead as anti-mage is right now, he wasn't that far ahead, and he's bought up a Basher. We'll probably be buying the Abyssal in another 1.5k, and I just don't see a way of Hans killing him off unless they get an excellent smoke initiation, because his team in all of these fights is right behind him. And
he's got rid of the Vlads now. He will pick it back up once the Aegis has run out, but he wants the Basher over the Vlads because his natural health regen's pretty good, and he just gets gold like no other. So once that's gone, he might pick up the Vlads. But that's the problem with picking up the Vlads right now. What do you do with it? Once you've got the Abyssal, you need the other slot to pick up like a Butterfly or a Heart. Probably Butterfly this game because you got the BKB. So you just have to sell it and someone else buys one. That's why I don't like it. I'm like, eh.
Yeah,
but it did help him out early. It did help
it does
him out.
provide you kind of more than the 1,000 gold that it kind of costs you after you sell it back. So
yeah.
Definitely a good pickup for this game as well, because it let him push out the lanes so they were ready to be kind of, forced back. As well as being able to take down the jungle creeps really effectively. So definitely the correct itemization for this game.
Yeah, definitely for this game. And, CSW, I think they don't need to force anything now, right? Keep playing how you were playing and make Hans make the faults. You don't need to force Raxus down. All you're going to do is get an Abyssal on your anti-mage and then get a Butterfly. Then you can force the issue. But now, keep farming, keep playing safe, maybe even wait for the next Roshan before you even try to go tier 3. I know it's, the classic boring Dota, and it's safe and blah blah blah, but this is how you win a game like this. Don't be dumb.
Don't be dumb, be smart.
Don't be dumb, be smart.
Dan's
Dan,
number 1
2013.
rule.
Don't be dumb. You've got the anti-fun.
I gotta say, bit rich coming from you, Mr. Double Divine. Drop him on the ground.
Yeah. Good point, man. Good point. I'll take that. I mean, he could buy 2 Divines and throw. But I've patented that. If he does that, he's got to pay me money. So.
Endless Winter is looking for his Necro 3 now. If we take a look at the mid-racks, it has completely regen to full, so that unfortunate kind of push that didn't end in the mid-racks, I think if they got it, they would be sitting a little bit better, but still behind, but as it stands, they're quite far behind. If we look at the experience, man, look at that drop. It's now 14,000 in favor of CSW, and the gold almost 10k.
And that happened in, 8 minutes, by the look of the graph. 8 minutes, and it just swings 18,000 just in one way. It's insane. And that's an anti-mage, people. And, I mean, CSW, they're one of those teams that I think they should really rely on getting carries more, because this sort of pace really suits this team. Their late-game decision-making seems really good, and Slick's obviously knowing how to farm. Like, he's been everywhere, he's been stacking when he gets the creep camps early, he's been doing everything right. And he's saving up gold for buybacks. Like, he's got 2k reliable gold. All his gold's reliable right now. So it doesn't matter. He can die and buy back. The Aegis is going to run out in 6 seconds, but he's just going to die.
Jumps instantly into Shaitan, pops the BKB as well. He doesn't want to use the Aegis. It does run out now as well. And they're just going to instantly kill off one and go for the tower. We're going to see the BKB pop by balls, but the Dismember doesn't come off quickly enough. And these Forge Spirits are going to take down the tower.
One last
really nice jump there, and he just jumps and kills one, BKB, takes out. And now he's going to fly his Vlads back out. He doesn't have any money to get anything else, so might as well bring the Vlads, but the one thing is, now that he's got a Vlads on his thing, he's going to have to buy the Travs. Because, if he's split pushing really hard, get into the base, and Hans Reborn are just like, right, all in mid. I don't even know if he actually has to come back, to be fair. He can probably rax them faster than the whole team if Hans can rax them, even with the Necros. So I take that back. Screw it. All in.
I think with the Necros that they have, I mean, if CSW aren't doing anything to defend, yeah, of course Hans will win that, because it's not just one Necro 3, it's also a Necro 2 coming out from Windrunner, soon to be a secondary Necro 3, so there's definitely some damage there, but I don't think it would get to that stage. I mean, we could get down to a base race scenario. It would definitely be extremely exciting, but I think it'll probably end before that. We're going to see Slicks jump up instantly. Endless Winter throwing out the Ethereal Blade, but gets absolutely smashed by all the magic damage. Big ult coming out from Elder Titan. Shaitan in a lot of trouble, managing to get a hook onto the Invoker, but Slicks now beyond godlike. Shaitan trying to stay alive, but there's too much damage being done. He will go down to buyback instantly from the Rubik. Slicks going for the kill, almost using the ult, but Elder Titan getting the kill before he gets away. And it's now 21 to 19.
Trouble brewing at Radiant.
And bottom has a massive creep wave. Slicks is just going to walk and go sweet free tower, and then probably just go top and clear the racks off. Actually, the rest of his team's going to go top while he takes this one. And what do Hans Reborn do right now? They've come back amazingly in this game.
Towers done
Anti-mage. This is
Get a load
anti-mage.
of radiant.
And the good game does get called by Shaitan. This series is going to go the distance. It's now 2-2. CSW coming back from a massive deficit. It was almost, well, it was 10,000 experience in Han's favor, but they win with a 22k experience advantage and almost a 20k gold advantage. So just an excellent game played, and I can't wait for this final game.
And look at that. Base kit wins an item at the end. Tag wins an item at the end.
Rigged.
Rigged.
We don't even have
Somebody
pizza.
called. Yeah, and we don't even have pizza. Alright, rigged tournament. Come on, guys.
So we will be heading to a Game 5 for Tides Wrath Season 3 coming up very shortly.